Rear mud flats, really.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, cool. Why don't we get some other shots? I'll stop back there and see what else is brewing here.
Anymore. I don't. I clicked a lot of.
So well, these are just shows.
Oh, they don't. We don't have enough money.
I've got a.
I like riding them more than I like taking the strollers. You know, like better.
Yeah, I've got a fast brother.
There's 340 County.
Get out of your way. Get them all, people can see them.
My wife would love to see it. I just run into a string Do you ever know where the posters? I've seen them on the covers. They're on our site. Maybe that's kind of.
Just trying to get some fun.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. You don't. I mean, electric starts back then. That's kind of a rarity.
Yeah.
Turn around. Oh, this is cool. Yeah. Very cool. Oh, really? Yeah. Okay, so to the back, Ted, if you come towards the back.
That was her dad's.
Oh, no
It's the first sled I ever drove. Her dad brought it over in 1967. I was 7 years old and he drove us around a couple of times and let me drive it.
Oh my God.
Never forgotten. I told him he drove it and then he got a couple new sleds and he kept it. But it was in tough shape because he drove it.
Yeah.
Yep. And left it to me on this at the end.
That's terrific.
So I had always told him I can fix it. He kept on, no, you can't fix it. You can't fix it. I said, if you ever get rid of it, I'll pay you for it. I'll buy it from you. No, it needs too much work. So then when he did that, when he died, I figured, well, I damn sight better get this thing.
First thing Nancy said.
He's gonna haunt me.
Was it?
We gotta call Tony.
Yeah, that looks beautiful. That looks beautiful. I grew up driving a 69. I got a 67 over there. I picked up along the way that just happened because you're looking for parts and all this stuff and things. Sold that for less than an air cleaner on there. Because after a while, you know what parts are worth. And you're kind of looking at air cleaner going, well, that kind of covers what I'm paying for.
Yeah.
And it runs and drives.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was just this Christmas got pictures of
Myself and my brother and sister when we were young, driving around, gave it away for just the pictures for Christmas. Made us all think about the old days.
Yeah. There's a history of motorsport, man. There's a lot of research along the way on this stuff.
Everything is there.
Really, really real. But on that little sled, either one of them.
Well, anyways,
Yeah.
I'm looking for a carburetor kit.
Yeah, I remember as a kid, we would sit in the front with my hands warm.
Get sucked into this thing whenever this.
No?
Yeah.
You gave it a good hug, huh?
Yeah, just wanted to keep myself.
You did a very nice job getting it back.
Yeah.
Thank you for the order.
The reason they did that, you know what I'm saying? So you don't have a cable that would
Click the link in the description for your free AMSOIL catalog. Before we get started, I'd like to give a quick shout out to some of our friends. The Eastern Snowmobile Racing Hall of Fame. Search for them on Facebook. Central Minnesota Pond Racing. Search for them on Facebook. The historic Lancaster Motel for the ultimate Eastern trail riding adventure. Crane's Snowmobile Museum at 172 Main Street in Lancaster, New Hampshire. The Vintage Snowmobile Club of America Quarterly Magazine. The New Hampshire Snowmobile Museum at Bear Brook State Park in Allenstown, New Hampshire. If you decide to advertise with the Vintage Snowmobile podcast, this could be your advertising message. Good evening and welcome to the podcast. I'm really glad you're here. We're going to do something a little different tonight. We're going to have an AMSOIL Oilathon. Now, what is an Oilathon, you might ask? Well, it's an opportunity for us to do some Q&A and to learn about AMSOIL products, especially as they pertain to snowmobiles, modern and vintage. We're also going to talk a little bit about applications for cars, trucks, motorcycles, boats, things like that. But it's mostly going to be about snowmobiles. Now, before we get into all of that, I want to make sure that everything is working properly. So if you can see my face and hear my voice, I'm going to ask you to leave a comment. Let me know where you're viewing this from and whether you are a first-time viewer of the podcast or a regular viewer of the podcast. To our first-time viewers, we thank you so much for checking us out. Hope you have a good time with us tonight and hope you decide to circle back here in 1 week's time on either Sunday night or Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time for our podcast. We have something in this slot at 8 p.m. every Sunday night, and we also do a regular podcast every Thursday night. Hope you will join us for all of these things. To our regular viewers who are here week after week and season after season, thank you so very much. You guys are the ones who make this possible, and we really, really appreciate that. Now, let's not waste any more time here. Let's bring Rob on. Rob, how you doing tonight?
I think winter finally showed up.
Finally. Absolutely. In fact, to our viewers,
I seen green grass on my front lawn.
Unreal, huh? It's been a crazy winter. Yeah, I'm glad you finally have some rideable snow over there. And to our viewers, too, if you finally have some rideable snow, please leave us a comment and let me know where you are and how much snow you got. See, we've got a comment coming in. Oh, good. Our good friends, Stacy and Art Fosler from Platkill, New York, regular viewers. They've been watching from the very beginning, and they said everything looks and sounds good. And Stacy and Art, did you get any snow there in Platkill, New York? Enough to do some riding on. Love to hear from you. But, yeah, well, we're waiting for some more comments. Rob here is a regular on the podcast. If you're a regular viewer of these podcasts, Rob is no stranger to you. And also, it's also no secret, as you can tell by his shirt and his hat and the banner behind him, he is the AMSOIL guy. And he's going to be answering questions for us and explaining in great detail all of the different products that are available to us as snowmobilers, both vintage riders, modern riders, and everything in between. And before we get into that, we've got a couple of quick questions. Stacy and Art say no snow yet. George Jackson says, been riding in Wisconsin for about a month. Wonderful. Well, I'm glad someone somewhere is getting some snow. Well, cool. So, Rob, if you're ready, I'm going to put you full screen. If you can just kind of take us down the path and tell us about AMSOIL.
Okay. I've been involved with AMSOIL 40 years. Back in 1979, I was racing a 79 SRX Yamaha. And a guy from New York State, Tim Bender, came up and said, "You're having a lot of problems fouling plugs." I said, "Yeah, I had a 15-to-1 oil mixture. Before I get out the starting line, I'm fouling a plug." He said, "Try AMSOIL." He said, "Try it at 100-to-1. I said, 100-to-1, I'll blow my motor up. He says, "No, I'm running my race machine at 300-to-1. You try it at 100-to-1, that's what it's warranty at, and you'll have more performance, more horsepower, and a longer engine life." So later that day, he gave me a tank of his fuel. I put it in the machine. First time I ever made it to the finals. It did make a difference in the performance, how much better the machine run, and the more horsepower I had. And at 100-to-1, I didn't foul any plugs. Now, this was a product right here that we were using at the time, AMSOIL Sabre Oil. One of these bottles, 8 ounces to 5 gallons of gas. It's perfect for me at the cottage. It doesn't matter if it's a chainsaw, weed eater, my 200 Black Max, a 50 Merc on the back of the pontoon boat, or the 99. Everything runs the same oil mixture with AMSOIL, 100-1. They came out with this product in 1972, and all the oil manufacturers says, you're going to get sued, you're going to get sued. It's the same product we have in the market now. Outperforms everything else out there in the market. Burns cleaner, gives you more horsepower, more performance. Then after that, snowmobiles started becoming popular. AMSOIL came out first with our injector oil. Yes, and it can be used for snowmobile, boats, anything that's injector. You can also run it at a premix. And this is what we had for a number of years until Bombardier came out with exhaust system, the Rave engine. And with the Rave engine, you needed an oil that was a 92% no ash. Otherwise, the ash in the oil, ash was also a lubricant, the ash in the oil would plug up the exhaust valves, they would stop working, and you had less power out of the machine. The Rave engine with the exhaust valves performed more performance out of it if you kept them clean. So AMSOIL came out with the Interceptor. It is 98% no ash. So it's perfect for all the new machines out there now. You put it in the machine, you notice an increase in horsepower, more performance, because of less friction, less drag. AMSOIL is a slipperier type oil than the petroleum oils on the market. By cutting down friction and drag, you get more horsepower, more performance, and longer engine life. And that's the main thing you want out of your equipment. Longer engine life, more performance, and everybody likes more performance out there in the machine. If
Absolutely.
you have 2 or 3 buddies all got the same machines, if all 3 of them have an 800 and the one guy's running AMSOIL, you'll notice the one with the AMSOIL, no smoke coming out of it, more performance, more horsepower, a little faster going down the lake than the other guys. Yeah. And the machines aren't cheap now. You can't buy a snowmobile for $10,000. Some of my friends are paying over $30,000 for a snowmobile now. And you don't want to put a cheap quality oil in that high performance engine because it needs extra protection. So that's another one of our products to have. And the other snowmobile oil that we like mainly for racing application, I'll try it this way, Dominator. Dominator is not a 92% no ash oil. It will foul the valves. I personally run it in my own machine because the Interceptor will give you a 5 to 6% increase in horsepower. This gives you almost 7. So it does give you a little bit more horsepower. But I've been stuck on a trail where it was washboard for 6-7 miles where the groomer hadn't gone down yet. And before I got down that 7 miles, I just stopped and changed one of the valves, one of the spark plugs, because it did foul up. But it does give me more horsepower, more performance, and that's why I run it.
Yeah.
But I should have been running the Interceptor, and that's what all my friends run in theirs. Yeah, so AMSOIL has a complete line of products for all the applications for snowmobiles. Yes, the 4-strokes, we have the 4-strokes also. 0W40. If you're out and it's 50 below zero, this pours at 58 below zero. It'll make it run cooler, more performance, more horsepower, just like all the other products. Yeah, so we have them all covered. Yeah. Last week we were talking about one of our other products is chain case. A lot of the snowmobiles, people lift up the back end of the machine, they rev it up first thing in the morning because they think their rubber track is frozen in the snow. No, you're running a 75W90 gear lube in your chain case, and if it's 20 below, what do you think that gear oil is like? It's just like honey. That's what's making your belt burn first thing in the morning. If you put the AMSOIL chain case in it, it'll pour at 58 below zero. So the chain case the oil will not be in there thick. Have you ever seen somebody tear their chain case apart in the wintertime and they got to change the oil? At the races, I see it all the time. People's got to change the gears for the size of oval track they're going to be racing on. They have a spoon in there. They're scraping the oil out like it's honey. The AMSOIL, they pour it out, it runs all over the place on them. It makes a big difference by having a lubricant that still flows in cold weather for protection. And in the wintertime, the only way that chain case oil will thin out and perform the way it's supposed to be is by the chain building up friction, heat, drag, which is wear and tear. You don't want that. You want a lubricant that will pour in the cold weather, give you more performance, more horsepower, just like all our other products do. And you change it once a year. Now, AMSOIL has a lot of products for a lot of applications. And a lot of them we don't talk about because this is mainly a snowmobile show, but we have a complete line of antifreezes. Do you have a picture of the antifreeze there? You can pop up.
I do. Let me pop that on the screen. There we go.
Yes. We use a different kind of antifreeze than the other companies do. And the reason I really like it, because it's pet friendly. A lot of antifreeze, when it drips out, if an animal licks it, it's very toxic. Amsoil's not. A lot of antifreeze is only good for 2 years. I think Amsoil's 8. I have to double check on the stats, but I think it's 7 or 8 years it's good for. And the best thing I like about our antifreeze is it'll make it run cooler because it disperses the heat better. But then Amsoil came up with another product we can add to our antifreeze. Now it's a Cooler Boost, the one on the far right. It was designed for stock cars. The problem is with stock cars, they don't want antifreeze on the track. It's too hard to clean up, so they got to run straight water. Straight water will boil faster than antifreeze will. So people like to put a Cooler Boost in their water to make the stock car run cooler. Well, we found out in the wintertime, by putting that same Cooler Boost in our car, it cuts down on the time it takes for the car to warm up. And in our snowmobiles, when you're out there 40 below and you got to get out of the car and you got to get the snowmobile warmed up, some people like to jump back in their car to stay warm while the snowmobile's warming up. Amsoil will eliminate that problem because a Cooler Boost will make the snowmobile warm up faster. But once it does get up to heat, the Coolant Boost disperses heat faster than antifreeze does, so it will run cooler. And a lot of people say a snowmobile never overheat. I had to go down a lake 7 miles where there's no snow on the middle of the lake, and people were overheating them when it was 20 below on the bare ice because we didn't have kickers and the snow wasn't being kicked up in the heat exchange, and the machines were overheating, except for mine with the Coolant Boost. It made that much difference in the machine run cooler. One of the machines with us, a Yamaha, we had to stop and kick the track because the sliders heated up so much the track wouldn't turn anymore. So this guy went and looked for open water to keep hitting to cool the engine down.
Wow.
Things people will do to keep their motors running.
Yeah,
for
sure.
By adding something like a Coolant Boost, this will help make the engine run cooler, and it also makes the engine heat up faster. Yeah, it's a great additive. I use it in my pickup trucks, my little car, and my snowmobiles.
Nice. Anything liquid cooled, it's a nice additive.
Yes.
Sure.
And when you're out snowmobiling, you're not out snowmobiling when it's 10 above. You're out there when it's 20 below or 10 below. And it does get cold. And by having a product that will warm up faster, especially a lot of times you stop and you go into a restaurant and you come back out, it doesn't take long for that snowmobile to cool back down. And you got to sit there and let it warm up. And a lot of them have a rad and a heat exchanger on it. So once the thermostat opens up once, we got some people that still smoke cigarettes, and the rule is it's a 2 cigarette before he can take off on a snowmobile. It takes that long to warm it up. Because if you don't, you can cold season when it's really cold out. Yeah.
Wow. Now we before we shift gears, I want to back up a little bit to the Dominator product. A mutual friend of ours a little while back did a testimonial for us. And I know we've already seen it, but it's just a couple of minutes. I'd like to play it again. This is our mutual friend, Midge Rosebrook. He's the founder of the Eastern Snowmobile Racing Hall of Fame. And he made this video. It's a quick video. Let's take a look.
This is for our friend Rob Hilditch, the Amsoil guy. See what I have here, Rob. And I think you have a photo of my sled last year at Pittsburgh, Mike. You can probably pop that up. I've got this 1975 Polaris clone PDC. It started out as a 77 TX 440. And I had Mark Belanger do the job. And Mike has got a photo of it, I believe, somewhere, and you can pop it on. And there's a photo of me sitting on that sled getting ready to head out in the Pittsburgh ride up north in Pittsburgh, New Hampshire this last March. It was 35, 40 degrees. We had 8 inches of wet, heavy snow. It snowed all day. And I was trying to break in this new engine. It was probably the worst conditions of trying to break in an engine is to take off on a 30-mile run at 50, 60 miles an hour, because that's the speed these guys were going up there. to break in this new engine, but it ran perfect all day long, and I believe a lot of it is probably due to this racing AMSOIL that I use. It's you only use like I think I did a little more than 50 to 1. It says 50 to 1 here, but I think I did more like 40 to 1 to break in the engine. And so anyway, just a shout out to Rob that I'm using it as well, and there you have it. And happy trails when we get snow.
Yes. And if you're curious about buying some AMSOIL, just click the link in the description. And in doing so with my dealer number, you're helping to support the podcast. And I thank you so much in advance for doing that, and thank all of the people who have been doing that. That helps to support the podcast.
Yeah.
And thank you. That helps to support the podcast. You're doing this.
Yeah. Well, I thought this would make Rob smile.
Oh, for sure. Thank you.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Did that make Rob smile?
I like seeing good testimonies like that.
Good. Good deal. So what are your thoughts on that, where someone's, done a restoration or something and they're breaking in a new engine? What are your thoughts on that as far as do's and don'ts and things like that?
Best thing to do is use the best oil you can get your hands on for those applications. Yeah. I bet he doesn't have $1,000 motor in that thing. It's probably nickel plated cylinders in that.
Yes.
It's probably a replica of the actual race engine. So
Yep.
it's not a cheap motor. So the best thing to do is use the best oil you can.
Yeah.
And you know, at all the big racetracks, if you go on the Eagle River racetrack site, you can look up the rules and regulations, and they tell you can only use 3 different kinds of fuel, and there's only 2 different kinds of oil you can use, Bombardier and AMSOIL.
Really?
Everybody at that track either is running Bombardier or AMSOIL. It's the only 2 that's approved for the track.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. That says something. That's an endorsement in itself, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah,
Sure.
and it's right on their website. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and I did snowcross for 14 years. And when I first year I went to snowcross, people brought 5 or 6 snowmobiles with them because they blew the motors up. Second year after me being at snowcross, people would go a whole season on the same motor. They wouldn't blow engines up anymore. It made that much of a difference, AMSOIL in the engines.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Now, the nice thing, too, is not only are there the motor oils that we've talked about for either injections or premix or anything like that. We're going to pop a graphic on the screen. We also have some other items at AMSOIL that are useful to snowmobile owners.
Yeah.
You want to talk some of these up?
AMSOIL's got a lot of different spray cans, fogging oil. A lot of people like to fog their engines before they put them away at the end of the year. The Mudslinger, a lot of it for the dirt bike people. When they're racing dirt bikes, if they don't have the Mudslinger on and it's a muddy track, that dirt bike can come in weighing 50 pounds heavier after 20 laps than it was before. And the chain lube for the chains for the dirt bikes. Silicone spray. We had a problem 2 weeks ago with the wife's car. Couldn't get the passenger door open because the rubbers were froze. You wouldn't think a rubber would freeze on a car, but we ended up getting the silicone spray out, spraying it, and haven't had a problem since. A metal detector, it's a big seller for me for opening new accounts. If I go to a trucking company or something like that, they have their favorite oil. Or the best thing I like to do is when I go to a farm tractor, a John Deere guy will not buy anything else except for John Deere. But if I go approach them with a product like our MP and say, do you ever have a bolt seized, you can't get out, or something like that, or something squeaking, or a shaft on your hydraulic that's got rust marks on it and it's wearing the seals out? I said, here, try our metal detector. And by getting them to try that, the farmer will phone me up and say, wow, I've never seen a metal detector work as good as that. If it works that good, how good's your oil? But if I were to approach the John Deere guy about using the AMSOIL to start with, he won't use any except for John Deere oil. So it's a good introduction product. Now the heavy duty MP, I happen to have a can right here.
Oh, good. Yeah.
It's a 15-ounce can. It's a good size can. And I'm doing a test this week on my car. I got really aggressive snow tires on my car. On one side of the car, I'm spreading the wheel wells with this. The other side, I'm not. Because last week, when we got really cold, there was so much ice and snow under there, the wheel wouldn't turn. I had to go with a hammer and break that frozen snow off. So I'm going to spray under there with this here because I also use them on the snow shovels. Today we had a really wet snow, so after spraying the shovel with this, lift the shovel up and the snow just falls off. It didn't stick. So a lot of my customers use it in their snow blowers because with the wet snow, they got to get a stick out and stick down the auger to get it cleaned out. By having a spray in there, that wet snow won't stick. It prevents that problem from happening. Two of my snowplow companies use it on the front of the plows. I didn't think snow would stick on a plow, but when it's wet, packy snow, it sticks. Sometimes the front end loader, they go to dump it and still has a half a load sitting there until they hit it 2 or 3 times. By putting the MP in it, they lift it up and it falls right out. So, and I got one guy, he wants it. He's going to just try to use it for an undercoater. He's going to spray his hole underneath his vehicle. He's used it for a number of years, and he's tired of some of these products people are using right now for undercoating, and he wants to try the AMSOIL MP. So it'll be interesting how he finds how well it works by the end of the year. But it's a multi-purpose product. 101 uses you can use it for.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Now we have some comments coming in. Let's see here. This goes back to when we were talking about the price of snowmobiles. It's hard to find something under $10,000. So John Latz is confirming that, saying you can't buy a cheap old machine anymore. That's certainly true.
No.
And
everybody thinks their old machines are worth big bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a couple old Jags if somebody wants them.
Sure.
Yeah.
Cool. And then Ann Packer says this week we're going to get some snow. So good. Maybe they can finally get some riding in. Now, one of the things we haven't talked about yet is the pricing. And one of the things I always say is, the best is never cheap. But also when you compare other factors, AMSOIL can in many cases be the economical choice, not only the best quality choice, but the most economical choice. And that leads me to a comment that just came in, and I'll let you speak to all of this. But Mike Skidmore is saying he just paid $31 per gallon for Lucas snowmobile oil, and that's what he paid for Klotz oil in 2014. Do you want to speak to that, or just the economics or the value angle of AMSOIL?
We have some companies up here selling injector oil for $21 a gallon. It's a recycle company we have up here. If you have a new machine, you definitely don't want to put that quality oil in your vehicle. But AMSOIL is cheaper than the manufacturers. If you went to a Bombardier shop and asked them how much their gallon of oil is, Bombardier sells theirs for about $69 a gallon. AMSOIL, we sell ours for, the Interceptor, $57 a gallon, one at a time. If you buy a case of it, $227. Now, later on, Mike and I will talk about the preferred account. Preferred, you buy directly from AMSOIL. Instead of paying $227, you pay $166. That brings it down to like $44 a jug.
Yeah.
So that's only $10 more than what he paid for that Lucas. But look at the quality difference you're getting in the product. More performance, more horsepower, longer engine life.
Yeah, you're getting the best available oil at a very reasonable price.
Yeah. And if you have the older type machine where you don't need the Interceptor and you don't have a race engine in it, so you don't need the Dominator, you just need the injector oil. Our injector oil is $188 for a case, and your preferred price is $130.39. That brings it down to less than $34 a bottle.
Yeah,
so you're still getting a good quality product, but yeah, we're comparable to the other products out there that are performance product.
Yeah,
but we're cheaper than what the manufacturers are.
Nice. So it's a very strong value proposal there. Yeah. So I guess that's a good segue now into the preferred customer program. I'm going to pop a graphic on the screen. And I think in the past you've told me that it's very similar to a Costco membership where it's a one-time $10 fee, but that fee gives you instant access to the deepest possible discounts that AMSOIL has to offer, as well as some other things. In fact, I'm going to pop that on the screen.
Yeah, why buy directly from a retailer that's carrying the product? You can buy directly from AMSOIL. You can get a preferred count. They have an introductory for $10. You get a 6-month membership to see if it's cost efficient for you. And most people find it really is cost efficient because you can save almost $50 on a case of gallons. And most people, no one knows about snowmobiles by themselves. So they usually tell their buddies, hey, I'm going to order a case. You want one too? So they save $100 on 2 cases. But by being a preferred customer, you save almost 25% on all the products you order. You don't have to order a full case. You can mix and match. And if you order $100 worth, you get free shipping. So say you wanted a couple of bottles of Dominator oil and some Interceptor. You can mix and match the case. You get a total of $100. They ship it to you free. On your birthday, they send you $5. You get a $5 coupon. Every time you order $100 worth, you get a $5 coupon. So if you ordered $600 worth during the year, that would pay for your $30 membership the following year. So your membership would be free for you by ordering that much product.
Yeah, that's an amazing
It doesn't
value.
take that long to order that much product.
No.
So what was it? The Interceptor, $166 for a case.
Sure. And if at this point you're thinking about taking advantage of that, the best way to do it is look in the description for a link to the preferred customer program. Click on that link, and it's just a few clicks to get yourself set up on that preferred customer program. And then you can go shop on the website. And since you've clicked the boxes for the preferred customer program, anything you order now is going to give you that deepest level of discount that's available to you now as a preferred customer. So now you select your items and you make your order, and you're probably going to save more than your $10 investment right on that first order.
Yes.
So you get your savings right away. It's an incredible value.
Yeah.
So and also the other thing too is in clicking that link, you're signing up under Rob and I. And in the interest of full disclosure, I'm signed up as an AMSOIL dealer under Rob. So when you order through me using that link in the description and using my dealer number there, Rob and I both benefit. And if you enjoy these podcasts that you see us on every week, it's a wonderful way to support that, because Rob and I both make a commission whenever you order. It doesn't cost you anything extra. It's just a commission we get as being set up as dealers. And the commissions that I make go directly toward offsetting the cost of doing these podcasts. So it's a wonderful way to support the podcast. And, it's a way I'd like to thank people for doing that because it does. It's not cheap to do these podcasts. I'm happy to do them, but it costs money, and the AMSOIL commissions help to offset that. And one other thing, we've got a promotion that's on currently. I'll pop the graphic on the screen if you want to talk this up, Rob.
If anybody's ordering other products, like say you got a diesel truck or a car or something, and you order some other products, and you add 2 bottles of AMSOIL 2-cycle to that oil order, they're going to throw in a free hat for you.
Nice.
You just got to use the promotion code CCO123ATS, and it's good till January 31st.
Yeah, so there's a couple more days to act on that.
Yeah.
And there's a certain part of the order process where we'll ask you for the dealer number of the person who has referred you, and you'll see my number there on the screen, 304-555-94. I'll ask you to please enter that number. That way, Rob and I will both get credit for it, and we do thank you so much in advance for doing that.
Yep. And a lot of people send me an email and say, "Well, what is the price of something?" If you click on the bottom of Mike's thing, there's a thing on there where you can click and you can get a free catalog from AMSOIL.
Yes.
And inside the catalog, where you open it up, is the 2-cycle oils. And it tells you what the retail price is and what the preferred price is. And it tells you 1 bottle or 1 case. So you know ahead of time exactly what you're paying for all the AMSOIL products.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of AMSOIL products, look at this wide range of products that AMSOIL has to offer. All of these products are in that catalog, and it gives you a chance to sit there at your leisure and flip through the catalog and see what, if anything, in there is right for you.
Yes. AMSOIL has a complete line of products for everything, right from gas engines to diesel engines, forklifts, compressor oils, automatic transmission fluid. One product that's not on that picture, Mike, one of my favorites, is the AMSOIL 75W90 gear loop.
There we go.
Ever tried to change the oil in the rear end of the car at home? I know the shops all have pumps and all that, but if you're doing this at home and you have a regular ball like this and you're trying to fill up a rear end, you don't have any room to tilt that any higher than that. This bottle, you put it up, you squeeze it, and 100% of the fluid comes out of this bottle. What a neat idea for filling rear ends, transfer cases, automatic transmissions, stuff like that. And all our products like that come in that. I wish our 2-cycle would come in it too, but it's more money for that style bottle than it is for the regular.
Sure. That's a really innovative approach to that, for those awkward angles like that.
Yes. At the next car show, we got a rear end sitting there, and we got 10 of those bottles with water in it, and people are going to try and realize how easy it is to fill something like that instead of using the old-fashioned bottle trying to tip it to fill it in.
Yeah. I imagine there's a whole lot of profanity involved trying to do that.
Oh, you waste so
You're making
much.
a mess, and
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. And some of the big 4-wheel drives, the 3500s, they will take 4 bottles of that stuff. So you have to buy 5 to get 4 in because you wasted so much. With the AMSO, 100% of the stuff out of the bottle goes in.
It all goes in. Yeah. You get the right angle. You stuff that little nozzle right in there and just squeeze the bag until it's empty.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you spill anything, it's 1 or 2 drops.
Yeah.
As opposed to ounces of it. Yeah. For sure. That creates an extra value as well.
Yeah. And since we're talking about the automotive product, AMSO's 5W30, 20W30, all the engine oils that AMSO has is warranted for 25,000 miles or 1 year. Most people change their oil at 3,000 or 5,000 miles. And the reason they do that is because the petroleum oils, they oxidize. They form carbons, gums, sludges, varnish. They don't wear out. They get contaminated. That's why you got to change the oil at regular intervals. Synthetic oil, it was designed by a guy that was a jet aircraft pilot. And one day when he went to work, he asked his boss at work, why does my jet start when it's 40 below zero and my car won't? He says, it's the synthetic oil. So once he found that out, he started investigating and designing the oil for the automobile industry. And when he first we were the first oil to be AI approved back in 1972. Mobil One, them couldn't pass the test. None of the other products could pass the test. And all the other oil companies still were changing oils at 3,000 miles. And AMSO, when they first came out in the market, they said 25,000 miles or 1 year. Castro and everybody else phoned our president up and said, you guys are going to be sued. Why are you doing that? And he said, well, we've tested our oil and we can go further than that. Wow. So AMSO's, since 1972, has been promoting 25,000 miles or 1 year oil changes. And people are amazed when they pull my stick out of my truck and the oil is so clean inside because it doesn't form any carbons, gums, or sludges. And by putting a synthetic oil in the car, it's the same benefit as the snowmobile oil. Cuts down friction and drag. Less friction, less drag. The oil runs cooler. For every 10 degrees you drop your oil temperature, doubles the life. Wow. And for every friction and drag you cut down in the engine, gives you better gas mileage. So you're going to get longer oil changes, better gas mileage, less friction, less drag, engines that last longer, and you're going to get more performance out of the car. And the average truck, you don't buy a new truck now for under $70,000.
Yeah, big money.
A lot of people at $100,000, $200,000 are looking and trading their trucks. Mine's in kilometers, so mine's 1,300,000 kilometers, 800,000 miles, I think that is, and it still runs like a charm. Now the carpets wore out, the seats got a spring sticking out of it, but it's a 6-liter. They're not popular for lasting very long, and it still runs like a charm.
That's amazing. That's from running AMSOIL all these years.
Yes. I bought the truck on a Wednesday. Had to run to Montreal back. The next morning, I went in the dealership and said, dump the oil. I said, you just got a truck yesterday. I said, yeah, I got 1,000 miles on it. So we took an oil sample. And when the oil sample came back, the oil was contaminated with silicone, they say. And silicone is sand. Well, the engines are sandblasted. That's why I tell everybody with a new vehicle, change your first oil change soon. Because there's a lot of big metal particles in your first break-in of the oil.
Yeah.
So I recommend that people change your oil early on your first oil change.
Flush that out
quick. Go twice as long, and then third, when you put the AMSO in, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, cool. So unless you had any more on that, and if you do, by all means, keep going. But unless you had any more on that, I was going to switch gears. Did you have any more before we exchange gears? Or?
While we're talking about the engine oils and the new gear lube bottle we just showed you, I do a lot with highway trucks. Some of these trucks take 48 quarts of oil. And when you're trying to sell them a $15 quart of oil, you got to prove to them they're going to save money. Now, a lot of these guys are going 10,000 kilometers right now between oil changes. And with the AMSOIL, we do an oil analysis for them. And when the oil analysis comes back, it says continue, don't change the oil yet. And some of them are going 5 times longer between oil changes. Some of these guys are changing oil once a month. By switching over the AMSOIL, they're doing it every half year. And I have a lot of customers that do steady runs, that do the same kind of run, and they know exactly how much gas. They're burning $1,000 worth of gas, diesel fuel a week. If they got a 10% increase in fuel economy, that's $100 a week they're saving in their pocket by switching over.
That's significant savings. Yeah.
One of my customers was delivering home fuel. Now they got their oils free for their truck, and they came and bought AMSOIL off me because one Christmas day at 10 below, the trucks wouldn't start and somebody needed home fuel. He says by having the AMSOIL in it, it starts right up. And they got an average. They're the ones that got the average of 10% increase in fuel economy. So it was cheaper for them to run AMSOIL and buy it off me than to put their brand of company oil in. Plus, they were spending every one Saturday a month changing the 4 trucks. Once they switched over to the AMSOIL, they didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
So it saved them money, and they made more money by running the AMSOIL. It was cheaper for them.
Sure. Now, would you say it's a good idea to do periodic oil analysis on your vehicles just to kind of see what's going on with your engine? What will that tell you if you're doing that, and how useful is that as far as selecting oils or deciding when to change your oil? Or
one of my other dealers had a customer that was running from Canada down to Mexico, get parts to bring back and forth, and they switched over to AMSOIL at 50,000 miles on their highway truck. Now at 70,000, they did an oil sample, and it said oil sample is a little war resample at 90. So they resampled at 90, and they told them to take their engine in and get their cam replaced. So this guy took his truck into the dealership. It was still under warranty. Said, I want the cam replaced. Oil now says it's starting to wear out, and it's low number such and such. So I phoned the oil company up. I said, how do you know it's low such and such? He said, we know what model engine is. We've had that engine happen about 200 times already, so we know exactly what it is and why it's causing the problem. And the dealership says, no, we checked it, nothing wrong with it. The guy says, well, I'm a paying customer. I'll pay the $600 to have the cam changed. They took the cam out, and the exact lobe that the oil analyst said was wear out. Now, if that would have broke on him in Mexico, instead of being $600, it would have been $6,000 to get the truck repaired. He says most of the time he tows the trucks back home to get them fixed because it's so expensive down there to fix them. But by doing no analysis, that prevented a problem from happening. Yeah.
So it's a wonderful preventative measure to do regular oil analysis.
Especially if you got a vehicle taking 48 quarts of oil instead of dumping it. And to prove to a customer that the AMSOIL will last longer, that's what we do with some of the vehicles. Yeah. But the average person with the car, they don't find it's necessary to do. Sure. You know, most people can pull the dipstick out, wipe the dipstick with a Kleenex, look up at the sun, and if there's metal particles in there, you'll see the flicker off the metal. You don't see any of that with AMSOIL.
Nice.
Yeah. And if the person knows anything about oil, they know when they were changing their other oil how black and thick it was. And when I took my car in the truck one time, the guy says, "Why you change the oil? It's brand new." I said, "No, I have 30,000 miles on that oil. Wow. That's why I'm changing it." Wow. He says, "Oh, no way, it doesn't have that much miles on it." Yeah.
That's impressive.
I have all my friends come. Can I get your used oil? My car uses oil. Can I have your used oil?
Yeah, the gift that keeps on giving, right?
Yes. And when we're talking about the gear lube, how the gear lube, most people don't realize the 80W90, how thick it would get. And I get a lot of highway trucks get a better fuel economy by changing the gear lube. AMSOIL's gear lube has a 500,000 mile extended warranty on the oil. Most highway trucks are changing every 50,000 miles. AMSOIL's 500,000 miles with their gear lube.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so it's a big savings for a highway truck.
Yeah, for sure. Over time, that you really save a lot of money. Yeah, that's impressive. Well, cool. So in a moment, we're going to talk about the business opportunity at AMSOIL, but I'm going to transition into that with a quick announcement. And that is this. A little while back, I got this award from AMSOIL. I'm going to try to get it here we go. Now, this is a bronze cup for sales achievement. And it's nice that they recognize me for that and everything. I really appreciate that. But the real thanks goes to the viewers who have been purchasing Amsoil using my dealer number. I really, really appreciate that. And as I've said before, when you purchase Amsoil using my dealer number, it helps to offset the cost of doing these podcasts. And Rob and I are doing Amsoil together. I'm signed up under Rob. So when you order through me, Rob and I both benefit. If you enjoy seeing our smiling faces every week and feel that's something that's enjoyable to you and you want to help support that, buying Amsoil with us is a wonderful way to do that. And there are links to do that in the description to get started with the Amsoil Preferred Customer Program, also to order a free catalog. Those are great ways to get started. And did you have anything more, Rob, before we transition into Amsoil as a business opportunity?
I forgot to mention one thing about the 2-cycle oil. The Interceptor. I don't know if you can see the sign behind me, but I'm going to grab it. Oh. You see that on the screen, Mike?
Yes.
Okay, it's called Run on Freedom. Amsoil came out with this program to recognize a manufacturer can't tell you, Bombardier can't tell you you got to run Bombardier oil, you don't have a warranty. If they do that, they have to give you your oil free. It's a modest act down in the States, it's called something. So Amsoil came out with this plan to let people know that a manufacturer can't say you got to run the oil. So Amsoil, if you buy a brand new snowmobile, they'll give you a 1-year warranty. If you buy a brand new snowmobile and you put Amsoil in the machine and you fill out this card, you can get a 2-year warranty from Amsoil. So if anything happens to your snowmobile the second year, Amsoil is going to cover it because they believe their oil is so much better than all the other ones on the market. And that's a great marketing plan for us.
Yeah,
the other
for sure.
manufacturers aren't happy with it. They're trying to say, you can't warranty our machines. Well, we know our oil is better than your oil you're selling, and we're going to prove it to you. And even if the person's machine's 1 year old and they start switching to Amsoil, we'll still give them 1 more year warranty.
That's amazing.
Yep.
That's what they call putting your money where your mouth is. The
Yes.
proof in the pudding, so to speak.
Yep.
Very cool. Very cool. So yeah, unless there's anything else, did you want to? Shall we transition to the business opportunity, or?
Okay. Okay, let's transfer over.
Sure. So yeah, as we're saying, I'm signed up under Rob as a dealer, and if you sign up under me, Rob and I are both available to you for coaching and support. And each of us brings a significant amount to the table of value to you as someone signing up for Amsoil. And I'll give you an example. Rob's been doing Amsoil for over 40 years. He knows all of the products ins and outs. He knows all of the different business models that you can do with Amsoil. And the one thing that he's especially strong at is selling Amsoil at events. You think of car shows, cruise nights, snowmobile shows, boat shows, any sort of event or race or something. Rob is really good at selling Amsoil at those events. And so Rob is if you're curious about that, if you enjoy going to those types of events and races and things and thinking about trying to monetize that selling Amsoil, Rob is the guy to coach you with that. And when you sign up under me, you get Rob and I. What I bring to the table is I do a lot with social media, and I can help coach you on how to generate Amsoil leads on social media. I also have places that you can post to right now. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel, creating your own pages, social media pages and things. I'm not saying it's a bad idea to do that. It's a very good idea to do that. But I've got places you can start posting right away. And if you, let's say you create a new page, it's a place to promote that page. And I've got a lot of little details, ins and outs on how to get on the right side of the Facebook algorithm. If you're thinking about doing a YouTube channel or a podcast, I can help you with that because I've been doing this. A lot of things Rob and I both bring to the table that is uniquely available to you, that it's not available from other Amsoil dealers. And it's not to knock other Amsoil dealers, but Rob and I bring something very unique to the table if you're thinking about joining Amsoil as a dealer. Anything to add to that, Rob?
I have dealers from California, Florida, BC, all over that I help. So with email, it's really easy to help dealers. We're available 24 hours a day. Yeah, you don't have to live right in my own town for me to help you.
Yeah, it's true. With a phone and email and so forth, it's very easy to be in contact and give coaching and support. And yeah. And in a moment, I'm going to show a clip of Rob at a vintage snowmobile event, or I don't know if it's modern or vintage, but a snowmobile event, and you'll see the setup he's got. It's a very impressive setup. Now, the nice thing is this is what's possible, but you don't have to start at that level. You can start as simple as walking around like you see Rob here with an AMSOIL hat and a shirt. And do you want to talk us through that about, people will approach you when they see you wearing that?
Yes,
And ask you what
the clothing pays off so much. I could be in a grocery store and a person comes up and says, "Do you know somebody that sells AMSOIL?" Because I'm wearing the clothing. And I have the logos on my vehicle, and I come out of a parking lot, and there's somebody standing beside my car, and I'm thinking, did they hit my car or something? What are they doing? Person said, "I've been waiting 10 minutes for you to come out. I don't know where to buy AMSOIL." That's the biggest problem with AMSOIL. People don't know where to buy it. So by seeing my clothing or my logo or something somewhere, they're waiting to find out where they can buy it from. And that's when I set them up as a preferred account.
And that's a modest investment too for a dealer, to get a hat and a shirt, maybe a couple of magnets for your vehicle. That you probably do all of that for under $100, and now you've got people approaching you. And if you sign up under Rob and I, Rob is going to coach you on what to say to these people when they approach you, how to use that, to take that conversation to the place of turning into a solid lead or possibly even a sale and becoming a regular customer for you. And it's just a wonderful thing. It's just a great way to start this AMSOIL business is to get a hat and a shirt and a magnet for your car, and just let it come to you. And as you get going, then you can, do like what Rob is doing at these shows. In fact, let me pop that video on the screen. We're going to see Rob, and he's talking with a mutual friend of ours. This is Gary Porter. He does the Snowmobile Sessions a podcast, which is a wonderful podcast. There's a link to it in the description. If you like snowmobiles at all, please visit our mutual friend Gary Porter. He does a wonderful podcast.
Let's take a look at.
He sure does. Yeah, he's a great guy. But yeah, let's take a look at Rob and Gary hanging out at a show. Let's take a look.
Snowmobile Sessions Live. Enjoy the ride.
It's a journey for life, and I'm your ride. Hang on.
We got Rob the Oil Guy. We say hi to Rob the Oil Guy. Rob the Oil Guy, how are you? Good.
Are we live today?
No, you're not live. It's pre-recorded.
Oh, Memorex.
It's Memorex. I can't get live to work. How's the show been, bud?
You know what? This afternoon we were swamped. It was stupid how many people was here. Shouldn't people have been out on their bicycles or skateboards or something today? It was packed. But it's supper time, so it's calmed down, and we get a chance to have something to eat ourselves.
That's great. That's great. What do you? What's been the hot seller for you at this year's event?
Oh, the Interceptor is always one of the biggest sellers. It's a trail riding machine. It gives you more horsepower, more performance, a longer engine life. So that's what everybody wants. And it's cheaper than buying factory oil. And it outperforms them.
That's great.
But some of the young kids, they still think they need the racing oil. It's mainly for racing applications. The Interceptor is 98% no ash. So with the exhaust valves and all that, you have no problem. But the Dominator is only 91, so it will dirty up your valves if you hit a bumpy trail.
Right. Wow.
So if you want to change your plugs, you can run the Dominator,
but it's a race oil, right?
Mainly for racing applications.
That's cool. And you hooked me up with some 100-to-1 premix, which is awesome.
Yeah.
The Sabre. I just like the name Sabre.
One of these little bottles for 5 gallons of gas will give you more protection than what the other brands. Still, I won't mention it.
Yeah.
At 32-to-1. This gives you more protection.
Exactly. I'm going to be running that in the Mercury Force next summer. And I will be running my leaf blower in the fall for sure, because I want to test that too.
Yeah.
So
you got to start
should be good.
Soon, don't you?
Yeah, I do too. That's right.
There you
go.
go.
Okay, we will be in touch with that. Thank you for your time, Rob the Oil Guy.
I need an extra one.
I need an extra one. Thank you so much. I don't drink it. Well, maybe I'll start.
Hey, have you got
bones? What's that? Here, I'm going to come back and grab it, okay? I'm just going to take a walk. I'll be back to grab that. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, the good times at the snowmobile show.
Yes.
Yeah. But that's the thing is, Rob's been doing this, as you can imagine, for quite a few years, and it's taken a while to build up where you can have that big kiosk and display there. So I guess the point I'm trying to make is, if as a new AMSOIL dealer, you don't have to start out at that level. You can start off, like we said, wearing a hat and a shirt, and getting some conversations going. But over time, if you find that it's working for you, you can maybe start with a small display. And as that grows, get a slightly larger display. And over time, you can get to the point where you've got a display like Rob has got there.
Yeah.
90%
of the time, I only have a 10x10 booth.
Wow.
90%. But that there show, we had 12 dealers working at it.
Really? Wow. Nice. Nice. And you wouldn't do all of that if it wasn't profitable, to set up a display like that and do all of that. So it's very much worth your while to do that.
Yeah.
And
And a lot of
yeah.
times when we go to some shows, I just open a tailgate and I just have products sitting on the back of the tailgate with the flag up. And I go around and see the show myself, and then I sit there in a lawn chair. So and a lot of times, some of the shows only charge me $5 to come, like on a cruise night or a vintage snowmobile show. Yeah, they'll say, give us some prizes. You can set up a free booth.
Yeah. That's cool. So even just, with some items on a tailgate and a flag, an AMSOIL flag, people will approach you and ask you about AMSOIL, and it's an opportunity for you to have that conversation to try to sell some AMSOIL or sign them up as a
I make sure I
customer.
park right beside my buddies that are already all using AMSOIL already.
Nice.
And they all have the AMSOIL decals on their vintage machines.
Sure.
So when their friends come over, they send the guy over and say, "This is where we get our AMSOIL from."
Nice. Yeah. So that's, and if anyone who's thinking about that, and if you enjoy car shows, boat shows, anything like that, snowmobile shows like Rob and I do, it's a wonderful way to monetize that. And just imagine putting down the tailgate of your pickup and having a few AMSOIL items on there, maybe an AMSOIL banner flying. It's a very modest investment, and Rob can coach you on how to do that and how to handle those conversations as people approach you, how to turn those conversations into something that's productive for everyone. So that's what Rob is available to you for. And as I said, I do a lot with social media, and I've got numerous Facebook groups that have thousands and thousands of followers. And you can post in there. I can show you how to post, what to post, the frequency, all of there are guidelines to do this. I'm not saying just do whatever you want in there, but I can show you the exact guidelines of how to do it, how not to do it, so you're not on the wrong side of the Facebook algorithm, and so that you're on the right side of the viewers of the group, to get maximum effect and to generate yourself some catalog requests or inquiries about AMSOIL. I'll show you exactly how to do it. And I encourage you to create your own Facebook page, and I can show you how to leverage that into what I was just talking about. But you can start this without a Facebook page or any presence on Facebook other than your own personal profile. And I'll coach you through how to at least get started putting your stuff in front of my audience, and then show you how to build an audience of your own and how to work that as well. And if you want to get into doing video like we're doing now, I can help you with that. I do a lot with social media, and I have muscle car groups, exotic car groups, and I've also got one called Wheels, Keels, and Snowmobiles, where anything with a motor, anything with a gas motor is fair game. Yeah. And that's got like 15,000 fans, so you can be posting in there right away. And like I say, you can't just do whatever you want in there. I'll give you the guidelines, but the guidelines are to help you so that you're not getting on the wrong side of the audience or the wrong side of the algorithm. And I'll coach you on all of that. So when you sign up for Rob and I, you're getting both of us and things that he and I both have unique to offer that may not be available to you from other AMSOIL dealers who would like to sign you up as a dealer. And again, not to knock them, but Rob and I each bring something very unique to the table that could be very useful to you as an AMSOIL dealer, as a new AMSOIL dealer, to help you get started and get some momentum, get off on the right foot.
And I'm the very first one to tell anybody, AMSOIL's not a get-rich scheme. Sure. But if you're interested in making an extra $100, $500, $1,000, or $10,000 a month on a part-time base, it's available with AMSOIL.
Yeah.
It's actually available to do.
Yeah, and you can start with a very modest investment, and you can grow into it.
Yes.
Yes. Let's say you do it, and you've been doing it for a few years. You could get to where you're doing easily a few extra $1,000 a month. Yep. And you could get to the point where, hey, maybe I'll do this full time.
Yes.
And if you're like us and you enjoy boat shows, car shows, snowmobile shows, how would that be a full-time income where you're just going to shows all the time? That's
doing what you like to do.
Yeah. Yeah. For people like Rob and I, that's a dream.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. A dream
and
come true.
AMSOIL has a number of divisions you can go towards. I've got one person, all he does is sign up preferred customers. He offers people the very best possible price to buy the AMSOIL. He doesn't have any AMSOIL at his house. He doesn't sell to anybody else. He just gives out catalogs, and then the catalogs are two prices. He tells them sign up, order it themselves. So every month he gets a computer printout saying, here's all the people that order, here's your commission check. And then I have other groups of people that only do retail and commercial. I got one guy, all he does is small engines. Well, he's into landscape companies. So he goes around the landscape companies and small engines and signs them up. And like a snowmobile shop, if you sign up a snowmobile shop, the AMSOIL will give them a 30-day payment plan. They buy $450 worth, they get free shipping. And the reason they like carrying the AMSOIL product, because AMSOIL will put them on their locator. So if you have a small engine shop and they buy $450 worth, you send a picture of them into AMSOIL, and anybody within 100 kilometers goes on the AMSOIL site, looks for oil, a picture of their shop comes up.
Nice.
No other oil company does that for their customers. So they like having service that AMSOIL offers to them.
Yeah, that's a huge benefit right there.
Yeah, yeah. And if I got one guy, he's got a retail account that orders $50,000 worth 4 times a year.
Wow.
He gets 10% for a profit check and 10% towards his commission credits.
Yeah, that adds up.
That's a part-time job for him.
That's amazing.
Now, commercial accounts, you only get 5%. But a commercial account just doesn't buy a case of oil. They buy
do volume.
drums. Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah, most of the skid steers and backhoes, and we got a lot of guys with logging equipment. They take 3 or 4 drums to fill that piece of equipment.
Yeah. And I'm glad you brought that up too, because there are quite a few different business models for someone who wants to do the AMSOIL business. We just talked about a few here. You know, Rob does a lot with the shows. So if you like shows, that's one business model. If you like to do things online like I do, that's another business model. And then he talked about the commercial accounts, the retail accounts. There are a number of different business models. So if there's something that you specialize in, or if you have certain types of contacts that are available to you, contact us and we'll help tailor a business model to turn that into an opportunity for you.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, cool. Can you believe we've been
working
go ahead.
all the categories.
Yeah, for sure. You're active in all of the categories.
Yes.
That's cool.
And a person says, the guy you're talking to is a wealthy millionaire. How did you get him to sign up under AMSOIL? I said, do you keep your options open on how you make money?
Yeah.
The guy says, yeah. I said, well, here's my email. Send me an email. So before I get home from the show that day, I got an email from that guy saying, what are you talking about how to make money? I'm interested. The guy's a millionaire. But that's why he's a millionaire, because he knows how to make money.
Yeah, and he's probably got his hand into more than one thing.
Yep.
Yeah, different activities to generate income for him.
Yep. So he's already got some companies that could use the lubricants.
Sure. Yeah, he probably had some good contacts. Yeah.
Yep.
That's cool. Very cool. Well, yeah, if you can believe, we've been talking about AMSOIL here for almost an hour. We're about to wind it down, but any final thoughts, Rob, before we do that?
You know what? It's a fun business. I worked for General Motors for 30 years and 5 days. And they came up to me and said, do you want an early retirement? And that was on a Monday. Do you want to retire on Friday? I said, I sure do. They said, don't you want to go home, talk it over with your wife? I said, no, she's not retiring. I am. But I had a mother at that time that was sick and needed my help. Yep. So I took the opportunity. But if it wasn't for the AMSOIL business, I wouldn't have been able to have the opportunity to take that option.
Yes.
And I was 48 years old when I retired from General Motors. Because of the extra money, AMSOIL gave me the opportunity to do that.
Yeah. And that then gave you more time to work on AMSOIL and to build that up as well, I imagine.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
So now my daughter wants to know when she can have the company.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah. Well, she's working on it now, so.
Good. So she's already involved. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Now we've got a comment that's come in. My good friend John Springer Jr. says he's been using semi-synthetic oil. Do you have to drain it all out before using the AMSOIL?
No. If you're running petroleum oil and you had 20,000 kilometers on your vehicle, we do recommend to put a flush in. Take the filter off, put a cheap filter on, add a kind of flush, let it run for 20 minutes. That way the oil starts off in a clean engine. If you're running a semi-synthetic, the engine should be partly clean. You shouldn't have to run a flush. Yeah. The people that have 80,000 kilometers in their car and they put 100% synthetic in, and they phone me and say, my car is using oil now. I tell them, well, take your filter off, put another filter on, because the synthetic oil will naturally clean the inside of the engine, and a dirty oil will burn. But if you're running semi-synthetic before, you should be pretty clean.
Good. Another question I meant to ask you, and I'm glad that reminded me of it. So I've got a 1992 Ski-Doo Safari. It's got the 377 with the oil injection. Yes. It's got injection oil in it. Should I drain that before I put AMSOIL injector oil, or can I put that in with the existing injector oil and
If it was the middle of the summer, I would say, yeah, take it out and put Amsoil in because you'll notice the benefit of Amsoil right off the bat. But this time of year, no one wants to do that. Amsoil will mix with any other oil you have.
So just top it off and keep going.
Yep.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And
A lot
one
of
more
people out
comment.
snowmobile and they're running Amsoil and they're in the middle of nowhere and their light comes on. They got to add oil. You can add any brand you want to Amsoil. It's going to smell a little, but it's not going to do any harm.
Won't do any damage. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
some
and then
products you can't do that on.
Sure. Now, John Spranger Jr., who made the comment earlier, he's specifying he was talking about a snowmobile as opposed to a car. As far as, and this was the original question, using semi-synthetic oil, does he have to drain it all out before using Amsoil? And he's talking about a snowmobile.
No.
Okay. Good.
No.
Good. No. And John, we thank you for those questions. By the way, we really appreciate that. Yeah, John's a good friend of mine, and he's been with the podcast from the very beginning, and we've been corresponding from the very beginning as friends, and finally had a chance to meet him. He's out in Wisconsin, but he was over the holidays. He was visiting family here in Vermont, and he wasn't too far away, so we got together and had lunch one day. Had a really nice visit. I had a chance to meet him and the missus, and we had a really good time.
Whereabouts in Wisconsin is he from?
Eland.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm heading to Duluth this year. Duluth.
Oh, nice.
Superior, Wisconsin.
Sure. Is that an event or something? Or
Amsoil 50th anniversary party.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. Well, good. That sounds like a great time.
Yeah.
So cool. So unless there are any final thoughts here, we're going to give the last word as always to Amsoil. We've got a little Amsoil video that Rob and I made a few months ago. Anything else before we transition to that? Or
no, that's a good video. I like that.
Yeah, that was fun to make. Yeah, that was fun. Well, cool. Well, thank you everyone for watching. We really appreciate it. Appreciate your coming on and being a viewer. And we thank Rob for being here tonight. And thank everyone who's either considering purchasing Amsoil under Rob and I or becoming a dealer. And also we thank the people who have been doing that along as well. We thank you so very much for that. And have a wonderful evening. Mike. All right. You too. Take care. Hello, everyone. This is Rob and Mike. How you doing today, Rob?
I'm doing good. Mike, yourself?
Very well. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. Now, today, we're going to be talking about Amsoil. And in a few moments, we're going to show you how you can get the deepest discounts, free shipping, and free gifts when you order your Amsoil products through us. But first, I'm going to ask Rob to give you a quick description of what Amsoil is and why you should consider using Amsoil products in your motorized vehicles.
Thanks, Mike. Amsoil is 100% synthetic oil. Everybody uses Amsoil for a different reason. Some people like the benefits that Amsoil is warranted for 25,000 miles or 1 year. The reason we can do that is because Amsoil doesn't oxidize. It doesn't form the usual carbons, gums, sludges like petroleum oils do. That's why we can keep it in the engines longer. Petroleum oils never do wear out. They oxidize themselves. That's why they have to be changed at 3,000 kilometers. And Amsoil likes the benefit that you only have to change the oil once a year. That saves some money. Some of the people like the benefit of Amsoil is it's a slipperier type lube. By having a slipperier type lube, it cuts down friction and drag. By less friction and drag, engines run 20 to 50 degrees cooler, better gas mileage. Now, Amsoil says 25% more protection than the industry requires is in the Amsoil bottles. My average customer gets about 10% increase in gas mileage. That's a big savings.
Yeah.
And by cutting down friction and drag, for every 10 degrees you cut down the friction and drag, doubles the life of the engine. So by having the engine run cooler, it makes it last longer. Some people like the benefit of the range of the Amsoil. Amsoil's flash point is 425 degrees, and it pours at 50 below zero. Wow. If you ever tried petroleum oil when it's 10 below, it turns to honey. And in the summertime, petroleum oil thins out, and once it thins out, that's when it starts breaking down. So Amsoil's an all-season oil, can give you better gas mileage, longer engine life, less maintenance. It ends up being cheaper over a year's time running Amsoil than it is petroleum oils.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And Amsoil is available for pretty much any motorized vehicle, anything from lawn equipment, cars, trucks, boats, ATVs, motorcycles, snowmobiles.
Yep. And a lot of people phone me up and say, well, what's the benefit of our gear lube? Exactly what I told you about the engine oil. It pours in cold weather, it runs cooler, makes the equipment last longer. And they say, well, what's the benefit of the small engine? Same thing. Makes the engine run cooler, last longer, better performance. So it saves on all the applications that Amsoil has available.
Wonderful, wonderful. So yeah, let's talk now. Hopefully this has convinced people to think about maybe joining us in the Amsoil experience. Let's talk about some of the discounts and free shipping and how that all happens. I'm going to pop a graphic on the screen. And yeah, by all means, if you want to talk talk people through how this preferred customer program works.
AMSOIL has a number of different programs. One of our main ones is a catalog customer, where somebody can order directly out of our catalog. If they order out of the catalog, they order $100 worth, AMSOIL will ship it right to their house. But our best program is our preferred customer. For only $10 for 6 months, you become a preferred customer, you save 25% on all the product. You order $100 worth, they're going to give you free shipping. You don't have to order a whole case. You can mix and match. Say you want 4 bottles of small engine, 7 bottles of 5W30, and a couple of gear loops. You can mix and match. You can order 1 bottle at a time if you want. There's no minimums, no maximums. By being a preferred customer, you save over 25% on all the products you're going to buy. AMSOIL sends you extra gifts, a $5 gift certificate on your birthday, $5 when you renew your account and stuff like that. So it's a good way to save on some of the products you want to buy.
For sure. Yeah, it's an incredible value. And this is the deepest level of discount that anyone can get when ordering AMSOIL. Is that correct?
It is.
Wonderful. So let's take people through the step-by-step experience of placing an AMSOIL order. Then that would include signing up for the preferred customer preferred customer program, so they can receive those deepest levels of discount. So let's go to the website. This is what the website's going to look like. These are some screenshots. Once you go to amsoil.com, there's a link in the description, or you can just type that into a browser, amsoil.com. This is the page you land on. At the upper corner of the page there, you see how I've circled in red. That is the link to click, the Join Now link. That will take you to the Preferred Customer Program page, where you can take advantage of all of these discounts and free shipping and everything that we've just been talking about. This is what that page looks like. In the lower right, you're going to click Join Now. This will pop up. You select the duration you'd like, whether it's 6 months or 12 months, and click Add to Cart. Now, once this pop-up goes away, you'll be back on the main page. And the upper left, you'll see where I've got that red arrow. It says Shop. Now you can start shopping for products, and on your very first order, you're going to get these discounts and the free shipping as long as it's over $100. You'll get all of these benefits right away. So once you click Shop, it's going to take you to the product page. There's different types of oils, lubricants, so on and so forth. For the benefit of this exercise we're doing now, I'm just going to click motor oil. It shows different types of motor oil. Let's click gasoline. Now this takes us to an item. It's their synthetic motor oil. And you can see the item there, and there's choices for different viscosities. But take a look at the price. Let's take a closer look. Let's zoom in. But if you've joined the preferred customer program first, you're going to automatically get the deepest levels of discount. That's what we're looking at here. You're saving $3.80 on that quart of oil. Instead of paying $16.29, you're now paying $12.49 for that quart of oil. That is the deepest level of discount you can possibly get. And then you just add the quantity that you'd like. You select any other items that you're thinking about, add them to the cart. And once you click Add to Cart for the final time, you're going to see this come up at the top of the screen. It's going to show your items and your the total that you're at so far. Pardon me. And then you just click View Cart in the upper right, and that'll take you to your cart. Take a close look here at the upper right. That blue box shows that you're getting free shipping. You're eligible for free shipping on this order because it's over $100. That little yellow box shows that you've got the preferred customer membership on your order that gives you the deepest levels of discounts for the next 6 to 12 months. And then below that, you've got the items that have been selected. For the exercise here, I selected 9 quarts of this signature series, but that brings us up over $100 for the free shipping. We're saving $34.20. And if you're ready to finish, you click Checkout Now, and that takes you to this screen here. If you haven't signed up with an AMSOIL account at this point, just click in the lower right to create an account, create a new account. It's going to ask you for some basic information, name and those types of things. Now let's take a closer look. You'll see this gray shaded box. This is a very important box. This is going to ask you if someone has referred you to AMSOIL. And if so, please enter my name. My name is Mike LaPierre. It's spelled right there on the screen for the correct spelling. And also the referral number, 304-555-94. That's how you make sure that Rob and I get credit for this. Now, in the interest of full disclosure, I have signed up for AMSOIL under Rob. So when you order using this referral number, Rob and I both benefit. So if you enjoy these podcasts that we're doing, this is a wonderful way to support the podcast, because when you order using this referral number, Rob and I both benefit. And the commissions I make go directly toward offsetting the cost of doing these podcasts. So I thank you in advance for using my referral number. I very much appreciate it. And once you've done that, you just go into the next screen to enter your payment information, and you're done. Now, once you've placed your order that's over $100, and that order includes your AMSOIL Preferred Customer Program, you are now eligible to get a free DVD from myself. Now, this is going to be either a muscle car DVD or a vintage snowmobile DVD. Use the email address on the screen, wkspodcasts@gmail.com. Send me an email. Let me know which DVD you would like me to send you, the muscle car or the vintage snowmobile DVD, and I'll get that right out to you. As you're typing in that email, in the subject line, be sure and type in capital letters "free DVD requests" so it stands out as I'm checking my email, and we'll get that right out to you. So I guess the last thing, Rob, that we wanted to talk about is if someone is considering AMSOIL as a business opportunity.
Yes. If anybody has a retail or a commercial account and they would like to buy directly from Amsoil, just send Mike a line. He'll show you how to set up and you can buy directly from Amsoil. But if you are interested in starting your own part-time business, a part-time business that can grow into a full-time income, Mike and I will show you the Amsoil marketing plan. Amsoil has a large selection of products that cover almost every application. So it doesn't matter if you're into snowmobile, boating, or ATVing or hot rods, we have an oil for every application. It's a fun type business that's I really enjoy doing. Where else can I go and have fun and make money doing it? And Mike and I are here to help you all the way along. If you need any help on how to promote or to find new accounts, we're here to help you.
For sure, for sure. So when you sign up under that that number, this 304-555-94, you're getting Rob and I as a team. Now, Rob has been doing Amsoil for 40 years. Can you believe that? 40 years. So he knows every aspect of this business and he knows all of the ins and outs of the products. So he'll be able to help you with any kind of product questions or any kind of questions to show you the different business models that you can do with Amsoil. And then the other thing that you get when you sign up under me is I've got a strong background in social media. So if you need some coaching on how to generate Amsoil leads using Facebook and YouTube, I'm happy to coach you with that when you sign up under Rob and I. You get both of us as a team to help you, to coach you, to support you, whatever you need to get you off and running with this business and having fun with it. Like Rob said, it's an enormous amount of fun. If you're like Rob and I and you enjoy going to any kind of boat shows, car shows, motorcycle shows, snowmobile shows, anything with a motor, you like going to those shows, those events, those races, this is a great way to turn that into a income opportunity for you.
Yes, yes. And just by wearing my Amsoil hat at one of these events, people come up and ask me about Amsoil. People don't know where to buy it, and I'm there to help them, show them where they can buy the product.
Perfect. Well, cool. Well, this is great. Any final thoughts, Rob, before we wrap it up?
Amsoil's a fun business. Amsoil's been around since 1968. It was the first synthetic oil to be AI approved.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And that's very early in the game too, isn't it?
Yes.
For sure. Well, good. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for viewing. Hopefully, we've gotten you excited as we are about the Amsoil products. We'd love it if you could join us either as someone who uses the Amsoil products or to join the Amsoil team as a business opportunity. And we thank you so much for viewing. Have a great day.
You have a good day.